Happening now, what we know about an evening fire that sent a child to the hospital with burns in northern Chautauqua County, and the push to help clean out harbors in our area. A chunk of federal money now coming to places like Dunkirk. Plus, do you feel the fire in you? We check in with local volunteer departments as they seek to ramp up recruitment efforts this month.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Our latest local news is coming up on this Good Friday, but first, let's get a check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter standing by with that, and spring's on the mind of many people when we think of Eastern Dakota, and today doesn't seem to disappoint too much.
No, I mean, the temperatures aren't too bad out there. They're around average, but the clouds have started to move in now. The Mill Creek Mall Skycam on top of the water tower at the Mill Creek Mall. I wanted to show you this because if you look at the radar, which I'll show you now, you're going to see that it's showing some rain showers moving on in across the southern tier. However, the camera doesn't show rain. The Erie airport is not showing rain. So I think a lot of this is what's called virga, where it's actually raining up at the cloud level, but it kind of, evaporates as it works its way down. We have dry air down at the surface right now. So I don't think any of this is falling. If there is something falling, it's going to be a very light drizzle. So I don't think a lot of that's actually reaching the ground. But it is a windy day. We have a wind advisory for much of the southern tier and northwestern Pennsylvania. That stays in place until 5 o'clock this afternoon. The strongest winds near the shoreline. So early sunshine, the clouds will start to thicken up, then showers develop. We are going to see some rain this afternoon, 51 to 60, but look at that wind gust of around 40 to 50 miles an hour. Now, Easter is a completely different story. If you think Christmas was weird, wait until you see the Easter forecast. We'll talk about it with that Ultimate Satellite Solutions 7-day forecast later on in the show. Justin.
Ooh, what a tease, Dakota. We'll see you back in just a little bit. A child suffered burns in a North Chautauqua County house fire last night. According to fire dispatch, crews responded to 234 Versailles Road in Irving around 7:30. Several fire departments responded to assist Hanover Center there. Around 8:20, officials report that fire was extinguished. Work to determine what started that blaze then began. As of now, it's unclear how old the child was or the extent of their injuries. We'll continue to follow this story and provide updates on air and online. A 36-year-old Jamestown man is behind bars after police allegedly busted him with methamphetamine packaged for sale during a traffic stop. Jamestown police pulled over Tyler Esslers for alleged traffic infractions near South Main Street's Rite Aid in Brooklyn Square Thursday. Following an investigation, police report they recovered over an ounce of methamphetamine, along with a quantity of fentanyl, Suboxone strips, and a digital scale. Essler was arrested and charged with several counts of criminal possession of a controlled substance. He was held pending arraignment in Jamestown City Court. Since then, the Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office jail inmate list confirming he's now locked up in custody there. And towards the end of April, hundreds of fire departments across New York are opening their doors to the public, looking for new volunteers that would like to give back to the communities. Our Bronson Rasmussen is hearing from those with the Lakewood Fire Department who are gearing up for the Recruit NY event. And it appears we maybe don't have Bronson's story right now, but definitely the need for volunteers very large throughout our community. And there's certainly a lot of resources for people to learn more. Many of the volunteer fire departments are pretty down to earth, so you can, in many cases, walk up and talk to them about maybe your interest in helping out. And Bronson does have more now.
As the years progressed, it's harder and harder to find volunteers. Calls have come up, and people have just become busier with jobs and work-life balance. So it's putting a strain on our 911 system because fewer volunteers with more calls is a recipe for disaster.
Services provided by departments like Lakewood's are critical, as Ben Trochet, firefighter and EMT, tells us.
Every community in this county and state as a whole are struggling for volunteers.
Anyone over the age of 17 can join the department after filling out a few forms and being approved. Trochet tells us that the department will provide all training needed for new firefighters and EMTs.
We're looking for pretty much anyone. You don't need any experience. If you have experience, that's a bonus. If you just want to do EMS, that's okay. If you just want to do fire, that's okay.
There are many benefits that come with joining the department, from use of personal weight rooms and training facilities to financial relief and the use of the department's own baseball field.
It's really one big family. It's another benefit. You get to meet a lot of people, learn a lot of experiences and go through those and really develop more as a person and learn what it takes to work as a team and get a task accomplished.
Those interested in learning more are encouraged to stop down to the fire department and give it a chance.
Come see what it's like at the station. It might surprise you if you think it's not for you. It wasn't for me 4 years ago.
The Lakewood Fire Department is not the only local agency to hold this event, with hundreds of stations taking part across the state, 16 of which are from the Chautauqua County region. Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
Bronson, thank you. That recruitment event taking place Saturday, April 23rd from 10 to 2. For more info and to find a local department near you, head on over to recruitny.org. Much needed support is coming to Chautauqua County, where $10 million of federal money will now go towards infrastructure repairs. U.S. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer was in the city of Dunkirk yesterday to make the announcement. He was joined by several local leaders to break down where that money will end up. Included in the package is $5.9 million to dredge and repair the Dunkirk Harbor. The Barcelona Harbor in Westfield and the Cattaraugus Creek Harbor in Irving will also receive $1 million each for their own dredging project. In addition, $2 million has been reserved for the village of Mayville to replace its current contaminated water wells in an effort to ensure drinking water is kept clean there. U.S. Senator Schumer says the work at the harbors will be done by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in hopes of protecting Lake Erie's benefit to our local economy.
When I heard from our mayor and our local officials, come on, we need to do this, I said all hands on deck, and now I'm pleased to say it's full steam ahead, just in time for the summer season. So that's what we did.
The funding from Washington is part of the fiscal year 2022 omnibus, which was signed by President Biden last month. Residents can expect to see dredging begin in the coming months. Schumer says he expects much of the work to be completed by this summer. And some news across our region, a star attraction at Buffalo's Naval and Military Park. It's taken on water. The World War II era destroyer, USS Sullivan's, developed a crack in her hull in 2018. The ship was named after 5 brothers from Waterloo, Iowa, who died during the naval battle of Guadalcanal. A major restoration, which had been paused in October due to cold temperatures, was underway. City and county workers now working to stabilize this historic vessel, which you see here is taking on quite a bit of water. It's the only Navy ship named after more than one person, by the way. Repairs are slated to resume this Monday. No visitors will be allowed on any of the park ship's exhibits for the time being. As WNY News Now continues, the latest moves in allocating cannabis cultivation licenses here in the Empire State. And a little bit later on, a look at the discussion in D.C. over book bans and censorship. Stay with us. WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Whoa, Pre-Comic Book Day is almost here.
There's comic books for all ages.
Stop on down to Chautauqua Comics at 214 Fairmount Avenue in Jamestown and pick up some free comics. From superheroes to science fiction, there are tons of options.
100% free. Just show up on May 7th starting at 11 a.m.
the Northwest Arena on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer. Learn about activities available to youth in the Jamestown area. Plus, end the night with fireworks at the Tarp Skunks game. Learn more online at ccsolutions716.com.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
New York's Cannabis Control Board has approved 52 adult-use cannabis cultivator licenses across the state. These are the first adult-use cannabis license issued here in New York. The approved licenses are from a pool of more than 150 that had been submitted following the March 15th opening of the online portal. The Office of Cannabis Management will continue to review applications on a rolling basis and will get them to work quickly approved. The Seeding Opportunity Initiative, which was approved back in March, helps business owners to make adult-use cannabis sales here in the state. And Pennsylvania was part of a $26 billion national settlement with opioid distributors and manufacturers. In 2021, PA Attorney General John Shapiro announced the national settlement with distributors Cardinal, Missakin, Asperbergen, and the manufacturer Johnson & Johnson for their role in the opioid crisis. $1 billion from that settlement is now moving. The dollars have to be used for opioid remediation processes and initiatives in the Commonwealth. Officials are currently working out plans for distributing the settlement money. They say it's going to have a huge impact on substance use disorder treatments and resources available.
With the influx of these opioid settlement dollars, I am confident that going forward, we will all be in a position to help even more individuals throughout Pennsylvania who so desperately need and deserve our support.
Shapiro says the Independent Trust will be distributing 2 payments this year to localities first and then later this spring. Another round expected this fall. Russia is countering U.S. sanctions with their own, and they're targeting members of Congress, including our local reps. Russia's foreign ministry announced they're imposing sanctions on 398 members of the U.S. House, including Representative Tom Reed, Mike Kelly, and Fred Keller. The Kremlin says these members are now banned from entering Russia, and all U.S. Congress members are listed on a reciprocal basis. Reps Fred Keller and Tom Reed both told us in separate statements these sanctions are a badge of honor and view them as doing their job as a member of Congress to put America and our allies first. Staying in D.C., there's a national battle over books and censorship in public schools. Many question if parents, the school board, or the state have the right to remove books they consider inappropriate. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp reports on our recent congressional hearing on book banning and how we could see that in our region.
The American Library Association says within the 20 years they've tracked attempted book bans, this past year reached their highest number, 729 challenges, which resulted in nearly 1,600 individual book challenges or removals. Most targeted books were by or about Black or LGBTQIA+ persons. In a recent congressional oversight hearing, the contentious topic of book banning was the focus. Some congressional members argue we shouldn't ban books because it's part of free speech.
If we cancel or censor everything that people find offensive, nothing will be left. Everybody is offended by something, and that's why other people's level of offense cannot be the metric for defining whether your rights or my rights are vaporized.
But others argue if there's enough support against certain materials, it should be considered for removal.
I would not say that parents have the right to say for other parents. What I am saying is, do parents or a large part of the community at large have an ability to lobby or engage with their elected officials on the local level to decide what's in the room? I would say the answer to that is yes.
The topic of book banning and censorship is reaching all corners of the U.S., including Pennsylvania. State Republican Senator Ryan Ahmet recently introduced legislation he says, quote, would require schools to identify sexually explicit content in school curriculum, materials, and books and notify parents that their child's coursework includes such content or that a book their child wishes to view in the school library contains explicit content. Parents would then have the opportunity to review the materials and the power to opt their children out of that coursework or prevent their child from viewing that particular book from the library, end quote. We asked his office for an interview but did not hear back. In Washington, D.C., Rachel Knapp reporting.
Rachel, thank you. You can see the state senator's full memorandum at our website, WNYNewsNow.com. Well, across the region, the annual Spring Egg Venture Egg Hunt at the Erie Zoo returns tomorrow. The event runs from 10 to 2. Children under 12 and under may participate in the physical egg hunt and turn in their eggs for prizes. After the hunt, you can get your picture with the Easter Bunny in the zoo and make colorful sand art in classrooms around the color some spring crafts and the orangutan building too. The animals are the artist's spring show and sale will also take place at the zoo stage with plenty of options to choose from painting, homewares, keychains, and more, all created by your favorite zoo staff. Coming up, a look at the hero service dog credited with saving a Jamestown area woman's life. Get this, finding a medical diagnosis. But first, when we return, a full look at our weather forecast, so stay with us.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
The end of school and say hello to the Day of Thanks for Children in the Jamestown area, hosted by Collaborative Solutions and the City of Jamestown. The first happens at Northwest Arena, where both Stop on down on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer. But 90% will survive.
Learn how to do testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4.com.
Home fires occur most often in winter. Anything that can catch fire at least when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usa.fema.gov.
Brought to you by the Chautauqua Safety Village and the Jamestown Fire Department.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Well, welcome back, everybody. And boy, it was a windy Thursday out there. Look at these wind gusts from yesterday. 56 miles per hour in Fredonia, 53 at Dunkirk, 47 in Sheridan, which is in the northern section of the county, just a little bit to the northeast of Fredonia. Randolph, 43 miles an hour in Jamestown at the airport at 32. And it's still going to be a windy day today. We have a wind advisory in place until 5 o'clock for much of the southern tier and including northwestern Pennsylvania. And the main threats with this is mainly going to be wind gusts of around 40 to 50 miles an hour, and the strongest wind gusts are going to be near the Lake Erie shoreline. That could be where you could get close to that 50 mile an hour wind gust range. Lots of clouds downtown from the HD News Now cam. Right now, we are peaked at, There it goes, 51. The computer's ready for the weekend, and I am too. With a west wind at 23, look at that wind gust to 37. Now the dew point is at 27, so that means the air is still relatively dry down at ground level. So that's why if you look at radar, you see a few rain showers. It's likely virga. It's just evaporating as it falls because it's hitting the dry air and it just evaporates. So again, the chance of rain is going to be about 20 to 30% today, but it shoots up to 90 tomorrow. Sunday for Easter, we are going to see a little bit of precipitation, and then early next week is still going to be a little bit wet. So here's what's going on here. This next cold front's going to sweep on through tomorrow. That's going to bring in much colder air for the weekend, and see some of that snow back there? Yeah. So let's take a look at Future Scan. You can see we are going to see some rain showers through the afternoon. I think the model's going way too much on the moisture here, so I don't think we're going to see that much in terms of rain, but we are going to see some through the afternoon hours, and especially into tonight. Then look at what comes our way tomorrow. That's snow showers. Aren't you excited? Now, we are going to see some snow through at least on Saturday, and then this is going to continue early on Sunday. And then by the time we go into Sunday afternoon, all of that snow shower activity will taper off. So talking about dazed and confused, Mother Nature just doesn't understand what season we're in. Take a look at this. Christmas Day, it was 52 degrees with rain showers. Does anybody want to guess what the temperature is going to be tomorrow? Knock 10 degrees off that. 42 with morning snowflakes. Mother Nature, what's wrong with you? Next 7 days of your life, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So there you see for Easter Sunday, it does turn better for the afternoon. More mixed rain and snow showers Tuesday and Wednesday, and temperatures return to around average, Justin, for late next week with just a few showers next Thursday.
Oh boy, and an identity crisis in the weather. What are we going to do to go to things? Well, in an effort to help our furry friends find a forever home, we're partnered with the folks at the Chautauqua County Humane Society for our Pet of the Week segment. Joining us live today in studio is Brian Papalea to talk more about this week's featured furry friend. Happy Good Friday to you, Brian, and thanks for bringing in what seems to be a pretty rambunctious fellow we got here.
Yes, and I have completely forgot what his name is. Banjo. Sorry,
Banjo.
Sorry, I was thinking what I wanted to tell you. What I was thinking about Guthrie that was here last week.
Yes.
We have an application for him that came in this morning.
Oh, really?
And that was actually based on being seen here.
No
So that's
way.
why I had to reset there for a second.
That is so awesome.
So yeah, we'll let you know how that works out. But that was how that came about. This is Banjo. Banjo is 2 years old. See, I know what I'm talking about. And he is maybe not a fan of cats. I don't know if it takes it off the table, but I do know that that would have to be a conversation depending on how dog savvy your cat happens to be. Also, when it comes to kids, there are no restrictions in his write-up. So as far as we know, that would again be dependent on how your kids handle themselves around dogs, how that meet might go.
And this stare he has right now, folks, it's not that he's upset. He's watching himself. It looks like.
Yeah, he is.
In the
He's
monitor.
really excited.
Oh, Banjo.
Come here. But Banjo's a really fun guy. We've had him out and about this morning for a little bit, and he is pretty good in the car. He's a little bit anxious, but these guys don't get to ride in the car very often.
No.
And the step report, I think we need to add this, coming up the steps. Erica, my daughter and our volunteer from the shelter, she had him. I just kind of led the way, and he followed, and he did a very good job.
Well, great. And he is such a beautiful dog, too, when you look at, especially at like the front of, if we have that picture, thank you, the front of him, he's just so gorgeous, and it sounds like he's ready to find a home, that's for sure. For him, Brian, how is he on walks and things like that? Does he seem like he's real active, wants to get out?
Erica was just commenting that he's pretty easy on the leash, pretty easy to walk. When it comes to some of the other manners, he is young, so he'll need some little bit of training, but that's going to be the course, with any dog. But no, he's a pretty good guy to have out. A lot of energy.
Absolutely, absolutely, and a lot of families now maybe they're looking for an Easter gift, right? What better you could put a bunny ears on him, and give him a new home for the holidays. So Brian and Banjo, thank you both for coming in today. Again, to learn more about him or any of the other residents of the shelter, it's really easy. Just head on over to chqhumane.org. So he's certainly excited for it and ready to be adopted. Next, the story of a hero service dog that might have just saved a Jamestown woman's life. Stay with us.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Visit the Northwest Arena on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer. Learn about activities available to youth in the Jamestown area, plus end the night with fireworks at the Tarp Skunks game. Learn more online at ccsolutions716.com.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza. Yes.
Make a plan today.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
3 Jamestown women are hosting a fundraiser to help costs associated with their service animals, who they have said changed their lives for the better. Or Julia Gress shares the story.
Tammy Rogers of New Hope Assistance Dogs in Warren, PA, says the group has trained over 200 service dogs in multiple specialties, including assistance for narcolepsy, hearing issues, and autism.
We train dogs, the service dogs, for the people with the disabilities, to help them gain a greater independence in life once they have their dog.
Once a person applies for a service dog, Rogers says their doctor must agree that it would benefit them. Currently, the wait could be anywhere from 6 months to a year to take a service dog home. Once their dog is ready, the next part of the training begins.
They would come down to the facility and work on training the dog with us, depending on how far away they are. They may stay for like 2 weeks and train and then take the dog and go home, or they may stay a week and train and then go home for a couple weeks and then come back and do some more training once they've gone home and the dog is working on bonding with them.
Rogers explains that the dog needs to be bonded and have respect for their owners before they can be fully trained. Additionally, the dogs are trained to meet the owner's specific needs, including ways to assist with trauma-related issues. Christian Boltz's dog, Leo, helps her control her PTSD. He also likely saved her life.
I was diagnosed with diabetes, so he started mastering, alerting me when my blood sugars were off. And then all of a sudden, like, he was rubbing up against my left knee, and it started to bother me. And I went to the doctor, and the doctor sent me to a bone specialist. And they said, "Oh, you have a tumor. We're going to remove it."
Since the doctors removed her tumor, Boltz says Leo no longer rubs against that knee.
He has changed my life significantly. He's there for the psychiatric part of it as well. He does the deep pressure therapy. When he senses that I'm anxious or panicky, like, he'll jump in my lap and he'll apply that deep pressure therapy for me. But ultimately, like, he has turned into my hero with paws.
Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
Wow, Julia, thank you. They, of course, are going to be holding that fundraiser to try to help make some money to be able to have those service dogs. It's a spaghetti dinner benefit, Dakota. It's going to cover all costs associated, which it's pretty pricey, up to $32,000 to raise and train them. Advance tickets for that are available at newhopedogs.net. That'll automatically enter you in a running for a prize at that event too. So, wow, and it's a hero with paws. It's so powerful, and you think about it. You see these stories all the time, like nationally, like, you know, dogs do incredible things, rescue kids, you know, lead the blind, and it's happening right here in Jamestown, where he detected her cancer, like something was wrong with the leg. And, wow, it's just stunning. Mm-hmm. So it's incredible.
I think dogs, you know, especially dogs, I think they have some sort of something that just kind of senses. I don't know what it is, but
it really is. And just the fact, like, them being here, right? Like, pet of the week coming in. Makes you feel better to pet a dog. Like, if you're stressed out, even a cat, like any animal, and it happens for me, where if you just pet the animal, you feel better. And it's true. Well, we hope you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the Easter holiday. We'll leave you with this look over Chautauqua Lake. See you back here Monday.